Welcome to Riverbend Springs. The locals have said Noah is a good person to speak to as he has some of the dead wood contracts, $1,800, that is very fair. But Noah needs some rocks cleared. He has offered us to borrow his equipment. We will be willing to give this a go if he's going to show us the ropes. $5,700 today. Based on our budget, they've shown us some of the cheapest patches of land which we can buy. Alright, let's go and check in and settled in for the night. Good morning everyone and welcome back to the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. Just been enjoying a little bit of breakfast by the riverside and I can see one of the tugboats moving past with what looks to be a nice delivery of grain. It's quite a misty morning, but what's that I hear? Is that a police siren?
Code 3 to Temple Station, Ray 998 in the parking lot.
Ah, it's the police. I wonder what they're doing here. Well, I guess I better go pack up my things and get ready for a busy day. Right, we've got our keys, we've got our wallet, we better go check out. I think that police car is still here. I wonder what they're up to. Maybe something's happened in the hotel overnight. Excuse me, do you know why the police are here? Oh, they're looking for someone. How strange. Well, have a good day. Keys handed back in. Let's see what jobs we can find to make some money today. Uh-oh. This doesn't look good. Hello, sir. Can I help you? Yes, that's my truck, alright. What do you mean there's some sort of problem? I haven't done anything wrong. Improper transport of equipment? You must be joking. I'm going to have to come down to the station. No, that can't be right. You're taking my truck as well? That's just not fair. On what grounds? I can't believe it. They're taking my truck away. Sure, Sheriff. I'll come quietly. I'd like to know what this is all about, Sheriff. So what is it exactly that I have done, Sheriff? Improper transport of equipment? What do you mean? I got picked up by one of your traffic cameras. Well, nobody told me that trailer was too small for carrying the skid steer around. And I wasn't to know that the implement needed to be pointed downwards. But you're right, Sheriff, I see how that can be dangerous. That's right, I was doing a rock breaking contract for Noah. I'm new in Riverbend Springs, and I've been looking for work to try and raise some money. Well, if I've done wrong, Sheriff, then I can only own up for it. I just wish Noah would have given me a bit more information on what I was supposed to be doing. Release on bail? Well, how much is that going to cost? When can I get my truck back? Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous morning, as you can tell. We've been thoroughly introduced to Sheriff Bob, who informed us that we were incorrectly transporting the skid steer for the rock breaking contract, and we got picked up by one of his traffic cameras. The sheriff's office have not taken that very lightly indeed. They have given us a caution and formally arrested us but released us on bail, but we had to pay £5,000 to get out, and I had no other choice really because I don't know anyone else around here, and certainly no one that would have paid that money to get us released. And my pickup truck has been impounded by the sheriff as well. He's told me that there's nothing I can do for the moment, but he will let me know what we need to do to get it released. Just when I thought we were making a really good start in Riverbend, we're back to almost square one. I think the only thing I can do is journey on into the centre of town and see if there's any sort of work that we can do to try and raise some money back. Because God only knows what it's going to cost me to get the truck out of the impound. Perhaps I was too hopeful and optimistic that we were going to be able to raise enough money to buy a plot of land and start a life for ourselves in Riverbend Springs. But yeah, let's see if we can find some friendly work in the cafe. Well, how lovely. It seems like word has got around that we've had a run-in with the sheriff and they're not welcoming us into the cafe for now, and I doubt that anyone is going to be willing to offer us any work as well. Oh, what are we going to do? Hold on, is that my phone ringing? It's Noah. Ah, I see that you've heard about my trouble this morning. Well, why didn't you tell me that we needed to put the skid steer on a bigger trailer? I've got into a right stink of trouble. Well, I guess I've got no choice but to help you. What have you got in mind? Now, despite us getting into trouble over trying to help Noah out on a previous job, he has offered us some work, which is something, so I don't think we've got much choice but to accept. He has offered us some wood transportation work, which means we are going to be borrowing his truck and wood crane to transport some logs from field 74 to the paper factory for processing. He's going to pay us a good amount, but we'll be deducting some because we are borrowing his equipment. But I don't think we've got much choice but to accept. Right, I can see that Noah has got his truck over by the dealership. I hope we're not going to get into trouble for this work. Right, in we get. This is quite a machine, the Volvo Rideler. And let's hop in and get it started up. Luckily, we do have a bit of experience from driving some HGVs. Let's head over to field 74. Quite smart, this truck, I gotta say. Right, it's past Noah's sawmill and the next right turn. Right, I think I can see the wood that Noah wants collected. Let's wait for this bus to go past. And we can get parked up next to it in a adequate position. There we go. So we can hop into the crane and see how this is going to work. Excellent stuff. So it's been a long time since I've operated a crane. It's one of the few things that I have actually got a little bit of experience of. So we'll just take a little while to remind myself all the controls. There we go. That's not too bad. I think we can move it in a little bit like that. Excellent. Right, let's see if we can pick up our first piece of wood. Okay, so we have collected up all of the logs and have got to transport it to the paper mill. I'm getting overtaken because I'm a little bit lost and need to check the map where we are going. Aha, so it's just up here and second left. First left. And second left. Go, this looks to be the paper mill, or paper works as it's called. Let me just pull up in the forecourt and see where they want this dropped off. Seems just here is fine, so we can unlatch. It seems like we'll just knock on the door, they'll come collect the logs. There we go. And they gave us an extra $14 because there was a bit of extra wood that they were expecting, so that is good. Right, we can report back to Noah, I think. Well, it was nice to dust off some of the HGV and crane cobwebs. This could serve us quite well, hopefully, for maybe regaining some money and some profit. We will have to see. But I'm not sure how we are going to get our truck back. We'll have to speak to the sheriff later on. But yeah, hopefully, working for Noah doing some wood transportation contracts could be quite fruitful. The sawmill is in sight, so we can report in to Noah. He certainly is a funny chap, not really giving us too much information on how to transport that skid steer. But, yeah, I guess he is a bit of a character and a funny chap. We will have to keep a bit of an eye on him, I think. Alright, Noah does not seem to be here. Let's give him a toot. Right, let's just shut the truck off and have a little look for him. It has started raining, which was on the forecast. Can't see Noah anywhere. I was expecting him to be here. Maybe we can drop him a call back. I've just given Noah a bell and he is transferring us some money. £3,948 for that contract, which includes the cost of us borrowing his equipment. So that is not too shabby, getting us back to near where we were last time. Now Noah has got 2 other wood transport contracts that he has offered us. 2 are quite close together, 91 and 92. So I think what we're going to do is, whilst we've got the truck, is crack on with those 2 contracts and hopefully get a nice handsome sum from the both of them. Holding away. And that is our second wood contract collected. It's in a bit of an obscure place up here on a rather rough and ready track. But we have been able to load all the logs. I had a odd number on the return, but yes, nonetheless we have made it. A bit bumpy around there. I think the ground is quite soft. I can see I'm indenting quite a bit into the ground. But yeah, one completed and one that we have to drop the wood off for. And yeah, I think because we are such a heavy truck now, we really are sticking into the ground. I hope we don't get stuck, because that would be quite the predicament. I think it's probably best we come out the way we came in, and then we can take the long straight back to the paper mill. I did have to find my way a little bit on the first trip to the paper mill, but we got there. Right, let's take this winding track down and head over to the paper mill, and then it'll be back to Noah to collect some more money, hopefully. Back on the straight and narrow, hopefully in more ways than one. And one thing I saw on the way over here is there is a rather nice lake, so I'm just going to stop off and have a little look, because it does look rather fantastic. I think I'll just stop here for a moment, handbrake on. Oh, look at this place. This is beautiful, and it looks like there's a nice recreational dockyard with some dinghies, some sailboats, and a houseboat over there I can see. I think we are allowed on the dock, so let's just go out and have a little look. Wow, fantastic. Maybe one day, if it gets a little bit too hot, we'll come here for a nice dip to cool off. Ah, it looks like there's some adverts in the window here, and it sounds like a chap called Walter is looking for a farmhand to help him out. That could be interesting. I wonder where we can find Walter, and if he's still looking for some work. Let's back out onto the road again and get onto the paper mill so we can collect some money. Now, of course, Noah has been the main giver of work as we've entered Riverbend Springs, but I don't think it's a good idea to fully depend on Noah. We obviously got into trouble on the first, or well, one of the first jobs that we did for him, doing the rock breaking contract. So yeah, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket by solely working for Noah. I think we do need to spread our wings, so to speak, and also build our network in Riverbend Springs. So maybe Walter is someone who we need to seek out and see if he's got some work for us. Over the small bridge, and we have arrived at the paper mill once again, so we can get unloaded. And it turns out that the paper mill has been here for a very long time, and came to understand that they actually have a old watermill working, which is really nice to see. You don't see a lot of them these days, and yeah, watermills are once what powered the Industrial Revolution, so fantastic. Right, let's get this wood handed in. There we go. Right, we should return to Noah, and hopefully that's job done. For once, we're not the slow driver. Right, here is the sawmill. Let's drop the lorry off for Noah and grab our much needed funds. Ah, it seems like Noah is returned from whatever he was doing. Hey Noah, yes, we've got all that wood over to the paper mill now, so job done. So 7,008 for this contract and 7,268 for this contract. Fantastic. Thanks, Noah. That's really going to help out because we are in quite the predicament. The sheriff has impounded my pickup truck, so I'm left without a vehicle. Perhaps you can put in a good word for us with Sheriff Bob. I don't suppose you know where I can find Walter, do you? Well, there was an advert at the boathouse and I wanted to see if I could help him out. Okay, the Old East Farm. I'll head over there, but it looks like I'm going on foot. Alright, we can exit the sawmill and we'll be doing a bit of a walk over to East Farm where Walter is based. It is good that we have made some nice money from Noah today. 19,000, that is going to suit us quite well on our journey to buying some land and finding somewhere to live. But I'm not counting my chickens just yet, as we got quite a bit of bad luck earlier today. I'm just hoping that good old sheriff will give us some sort of arrangement to get our truck back. Nearly made it back into the centre of town, and apparently East Farm is over the bridge and railway track. And I think it's around here somewhere. Oh, that looks like a bit of a farm and barn in there. Perhaps this is East Farm. Wow, this looks nice. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to trespass. I'm looking for Walter. Aha! You are Walter. Well, we heard you were looking for a farmhand. We don't know much about farming, but perhaps you could show us the ropes. Well, it seems like Walter is happy to show us the ropes and give us some work. He suggested that we start with cultivating, as it's pretty easy. It's just driving the tractor and pulling the cultivator behind you and going back and forward on the field until everything is loosened up. We do need to borrow his tractor and cultivator though, so he's given us a fairly good wage for doing one of his fields, field 21. So let's hop in the tractor and grab the cultivator. Thanks very much, Walter. Appreciate the work. Tractor's in the barn. Okay, I will grab it. Well, looky here, a tractor, and this looks to be the Challenger MT665, 225 horsepower. Wow. Now, fortunately, I have driven a tractor before, and this is a Lemkin cultivator, apparently, which is already attached, which is nice and handy, so we need to hop in and fire it up. Got the tractor. Yep, don't worry, we'll go slow and steady. And yes, I'll put my hazards on so people can see us coming. Yep, we'll head over to the field and do exactly what you've told us, Walter. Apparently it is a right, and then a left and a right again. So hopefully I can remember that. Oh, the train is going past. Nice to see. Riverbend certainly is a bustling town, that is for sure. I think this is the left turn coming up, and yeah, I think Walter wanted us to put our hazards on because there is no beacon on this tractor, and we need to make ourselves as visible as possible for the other road users. I think Walter is certainly giving us some good guidance, much better than Noah did. Right before the general store. Aha, this is where we first came into Riverbend and we bought some snacks and drinks from the general store. I do remember. Field 21 looks to be to the left by my map. So let's just pull in here as we can assess. Yep, this looks to be it, and it's got some canola in it that has withered. I'm not sure why Walter has let this wither, but it needs cultivating for the next crop season. So Walter has given us a good amount of instruction. He has said that we are to drive into the field, lower the cultivator using the lever in the cab, and then once we get to the end of the field we raise it up again using the same lever but in the opposite direction. And he's recommended that we do a couple of laps of the field first of all to give us some turning space. I think he called them headlands, but I'm not sure if I've got that correct. So let's head on in and lower away and drive forward. He said to keep it slow and in gear 11. There we go, 7 miles an hour. I think that's the maximum that we can afford to do. But it looks like we are cultivating, so fantastic. Right, I think we're going to get this nicely cultivated for Walter and then we'll head back and see him. Cultivating done. And boy oh boy, that was a really fun job. Our first venture into farming and tractoring. I think I made a very good start with the laps around, or the headlands, and then I started to show my inexperience a little bit by leaving some patches, which I've just had to go back and correct, and I corrected a couple whilst I was going along the way. But yeah, we have finished that. Oh, better remember to put the hazards on. I don't want to get into trouble again for incorrect transportation of equipment. But I've got to say, I think Walter's advice was really good in terms of how to tackle that job. And he's been very trusting with us, really, letting us borrow this quite sizable tractor and some expensive equipment. So I really am grateful to him. And obviously there's a benefit to us as well, that we can earn some money. Right, we'd better get this back to him, as yeah, I don't want him to think that we've driven away with it. Watch out for the cement mixer. Alright, I can see East Farm dead ahead across the railway track. And I'm so pleased that I got to try out my tractoring skills. I gotta say, everything just felt really right. The tractor and cultivating, it was quite therapeutic. It just felt really nice. So I do wonder whether farming is our calling. I do really enjoy that sort of thing. And yeah, I just am hungry for more now that we have done one cultivating job for Walter. I'm hoping that he is going to have more in store for us, and also show us the ropes as well. That's all done, Walter. Yep, the field is looking nicely cultivated, so it should be ready for the next crop season. Well, that's very kind, Walter. $4,062. That's going to really put us in good stead. Brilliant. Thanks, Walter. We'll be sure to return and see if you've got any more jobs for us. Take care. Today has been a very productive day, and I'm really pleased about it, given that we had a rather sour start with Sheriff Bob. But I'm going to head back into town now, go speak to Sheriff Bob, and see if there's something we can do about getting our truck back. Back at the Sheriff's office, let's see what they've got to say. Now, the Sheriff has a rather interesting proposition. It seems that there is a watchtower near Field 86, and apparently this is used as a fire lookout point. Now, the Sheriff has told us about this because it seems like this week he is down on deputies due to sickness and holiday, and he's asking us as a bit of a last resort, as he knows we are looking for work. So he's offered us the option that if we stay overnight and conduct the fire lookout duties, then we will get our pickup truck back without charge. But if we decide not to, then it's going to cost us another $5,000 in impound and return fees to get the pickup back. Now, I gotta say, I really am unsure on the Sheriff's proposition. We don't really know him too well, and our first interaction was him confiscating our pickup and giving us a fine of $5,000 to exit the Sheriff's office on bail. So I'm really unsure what to do. I'm thinking I might sleep on it. So plan is I'm going to return to Willie's and see if we can get another hotel room for the night and contemplate the Sheriff's offer. Well, today really has felt very long by not having our trusty pickup truck to drive around in. Alright, let's see if we can get another room for the night. Oh, okay then. I see how it is. Well, that is rather annoying. Seems like the owner of Willie's obviously saw that we got picked up by the Sheriff this morning, and he did not appreciate the Sheriff rocking up with his police car and alarming some of the restaurant and hotel guests. So we are not welcome at Willie's for the night, so we've been turned away. Well, I think that pretty much settles our decision. We've got no choice but to accept the Sheriff's offer. God, I am going to have some very strong calves if we don't get that pickup truck back. My legs are dead tired from walking all that way. Okay, Sheriff, a deal's a deal. We'll spend a night in the fire lookout doing the fire duties, but we want our pickup truck back tomorrow morning. Alright, job is a good one. It seems that the Sheriff is very desperate for our help, so he has given us the keys to his police Chevy, which is used to get to difficult terrained places, and we can head over to the watchtower and we will have to check in with him on the radio every half hour or so to report that there are no fires. So let's head over to this watchtower and see what we've got to do. It's quite a noisy truck, if I'm honest. I think I can see the watchtower up the hill. Right, it's a right turn here, and this track should lead us to the lookout tower. We have made it, so let's park up the truck. Here will do. Well, it's an awfully tall tower, but we'd better go up and inspect it. Up the long winding stairs we go. Looks like we made it to the top. And wow, look at this. This is quite the view. Let's step out onto the balcony. Wow, we can see all of Riverbend from up here. It is beautiful. I'm actually quite happy about spending the night here. It's going to be quite interesting. We'll get to see what's about, see what happens as the sun goes down. But yeah, I hope there's not going to be any strange animals around. You can hear all sorts kicking around in the forest. And looks like someone's lost their big inflatable ball up here. Maybe that's blown over from the lake and got stuck up here. But we have a log pile and a wood furnace, so at least we can stay warm. And there's a few bits and bobs to keep us occupied. But we did say that we would radio the Sheriff, so let's do that. Firewatch to Sheriff. Firewatch to Sheriff. Checking in. Over.
Is there any suspect outstanding? Handling it only.
Sheriff, this is Watchtower. You're coming in loud and clear. Standing by on lookout for any fires. Over and out. Well, that is us checked in, and we will have to routinely check in with the Sheriff as the night progresses. And yeah, the sun is due to set at some point around 7 or 8 o'clock. But yeah, this will be nice. So, despite having a sour start to the day, it seems like some hard work has paid off. We've made some good money from the wood transport missions for Noah, and then we got introduced to Walter and did our first bit of tractoring and farm work. And thanks to the needs of the Sheriff, seems like we've got a handy arrangement to hopefully get our pickup truck back. But that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time on The American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.